Hey folks, so I got a question on one of my YouTube videos about hammer-ons and if I have a video about that technique. And the answer is no, I don't. So I'm making one now. So it's a very basic technique, but it's very difficult for the beginner guitar player to really work on the technique because it requires a certain amount of strength, a certain amount of callus on the tip of your finger, and of course accuracy, and that just takes a lot of repetition and doing it over and over again. So I'll show you the mechanics of it. There's really not a lot to it. It'll just be up to you to just practice it over and over again until you get it. I'll also pair this with pull-offs because hammer-ons and pull-offs kind of go hand in hand. So let me scoot over a little bit so you can see the guitar a little better. A hammer-on is just simply when you play a note, you pick a note, strike a note, and then you use a finger to actually hammer on to whatever other note you want. You can either do this from an open string, or you can do this from one fret to another using any kind of combination, any combination of fingerings that you wish. And it's important that you practice all the combinations. Usually with the second finger, it's easier because that's the stronger finger, the middle finger. But try this with every combination from 1 to 2. And then try it from 1 to 3. Slow it down a little bit if you need to. And then of course 1 and 4. And then every combination in between, 2 and 3, 2 and 4, and the dreaded 3 and 4. Which that actually comes in handy for things like chords. And you can actually hammer onto a note within a chord. And a lot of times it's the pinky that ends up doing that, but you can do that with other fingers. So the hammer-on is very, very useful in that regard. The important thing there is just to do it rhythmically as well. It does have a rhythmic quality to it, so you want to start out maybe doing 1, 2. Pick on 1, hammer on 2, using a metronome to really help you stay on time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, hammer, 3, hammer, and then maybe try eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and something like that. And you can also do what are called grace note hammer-ons, which is just when you hammer on really quickly to another note, like this. Just something real quick like that. Pull-offs are kind of the opposite of hammer-ons. I say kind of the opposite because to do a pull-off, you don't simply just remove the finger. You actually have to pull the string a little bit. You have to. The best way to practice pull-offs is to actually fret a note. Don't use this hand at all yet. Don't use the pick or anything. Just fret a note, push down on a note, and actually try to pick the string with whatever finger you're fretting, whether it's the first finger. And what you're trying to practice is not hitting any of the other strings when you do that. Then when you put those two techniques together and you do them, you do a hammer-on and a pull-off very quickly, you get what's called a trill. Now as you get good with the hammer-on and the pull-off, this is what you can practice for strength and also for calluses. This will shred your calluses, and it's great. If you can sit and do this with every finger combination that we just talked about, if you can go 30 seconds with each one, I mean that's pretty good. Because how often in music are you actually going to play a trill for that long? But it's a good strength exercise to build up all these little muscles in your forearm that are controlling your fingers. So there you go, hammer-ons and pull-offs. I'll see about posting a tab for different exercises for those of you practicing hammer-ons and pull-offs. So there you go, dandoomusic.com. Contact me if you have any questions. Thanks.